Well, looks like that's the best we're gonna do, unfortunately. Anyway, if you're wondering about the name, it's not too hard. I tried to tell a friend that I was depressed, but the fingers on big old artist fingers on little bitty tablet keyboard, instead of typing DE, it typed DD. So it wound up being double D pressed. So yeah, that's that. I'm petting the cat to try and not be depressed. So it's okay. You're fine. It was just a loud noise. It happens. It's an old building and people are moving around. I wish I had editing software to edit that out, but I don't. So sorry. Um, yes, you are very, very cute and fluffy, and that's why I'm glad that you're there. He's trying to make me feel better. But I don't know. I never know what'll snap me out of it. I really don't. And no, Sean, I am not depressed because obviously in pentatonics, I have liked the two EPs that he has, or the two videos that he's put out so far. Listen to them just about every day. Probably, and I'm drawing a bunch of Avi dragons for the videos because I'm inspired. But today it hit me that I'm going to, except for the cat, I'm going to live alone for the rest of my life. My kids live in a different state. One is going to China for a month. All of my family is in other places. Some of them, that's a good thing. I don't need or want to be near them. And to where the entire state just stresses me out. Not specifying what state, because it's not relevant. What is relevant is that my kids don't live with me. Let's just say, financial, because I'm disabled, I can't afford to raise children. It's not like they give you more money if you have kids, and some states would rather take them from you than help you. So, anyway. So you think, oh, well, you can get married someday. Maybe you can adopt, or maybe he'll have kids. But see, there's a problem with that. And my friend today said that everything with me comes back around to autism, and it does. It's a big part of my life. It's a different kind of normal, as they say. Well, for me, Miz, you're in the shop. He doesn't care. I don't know if I can handle having another human in my living space. I can't even handle one of my PCAs because he's creating chaos in my living space, and he's only here, 4 hours a day, sometimes 8 if he's missed a day, which we won't get into that. The point is, I can't handle someone who, in essence, works for me being in my home for 4 hours before I just want to kick him out. Having friends over, it's nice for about an hour, and then I just want them to go home. If I'm hanging out at their place, it's nice for a little bit, and then I just want to go home. So the only reason that I stayed with my ex as long as I did is because the home environment kept changing. So I never got a chance to feel what it was like to be in one set place with the same person. Things were always changing. It was new and always stressful. And I'm a unique breed of autistic person, Asperger's, if you're wondering, because we moved around a lot growing up. I went to 3 different schools in 3rd grade, 2 different high schools. I went to a total of 12 schools, K through 12. So that's almost a school a year. If you're not in the US, it doesn't go kindergarten, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, etc. to 12. They're actually 13, kindergarten, and then 1, 2, 3. So 12 schools in 13 years of school. That's not counting college. So we moved a lot. So change became the thing that was stable, the thing I could count on to happen, to the point where I'm getting some blackheads off my cat's chin. Don't mind me. To the point where, you know, change became the thing that I could count on happening. So if I'm living the same place for a while, which I do in Minnesota, we can actually, well, I now can actually afford to live up here. I mean, I can afford tattoos, man. You get tattoos all over the freaking place, and that's not counting the calves and the collarbone one I've got planned. So I can afford to live, you know, with minimal luxuries now. But if things are the same for too long, you know, we haven't moved because we didn't need to, I will rearrange the apartment just for some change, because that's my life. I have like a typical, well, I'll say typical, not normal, a typical autistic person. If you move something out of its assigned place, they will freak out. Like, they need things to stay the same. For me, that's true to an extent. Like, my environment is set one way, one very specific way, and I like it to stay that way until I change it, because then that's my choice. Everything has to be labeled out, you know, bathroom to like the shampoo. Everything has to be labeled out. And that doesn't mean label facing east, west, or whatever, out as in whatever direction you would be viewing it from. So I am still somewhat of a typical autistic person, where things do have to stay the same. Once I put something somewhere, it had better stay there, no matter how many times you've used it. Put it back where it goes, and put it back the way that I had it. So to an extent, I am still a typical autistic person. But, as I said, things, nope. You bite me, get off the desk. I'm not tolerating being bitten. He's been trying to dominate, become alpha cat for ever since my friend brought her dog over. Ugh. Anyway, not this apartment, the old apartment. Anyway, so, well, see, you know, he derailed my train of thought. Oh, so change became the thing that was normal for me. Like, that was, that was the thing that stayed the same, was change. So now if something doesn't change, I will create controlled change. So back to the, you have scratch posts for that. No carpet. The original point. I don't know that I can share my living space with someone who, I'm not going to expect them to know how I like each and every little thing. Excuse you, you're plucking the shot. I don't, now your butt is on the computer screen. I don't want your butt on the computer screen because fecal chloroforms. See? That kind of thing. Humans are messy. I mean, cats have, you know, poopy cat litter on their paws, you know, 24/7. You know, they can clean them all they like, but still germs. He's not allowed on the kitchen counters, which he doesn't appreciate. But the bird doesn't stay put. So how, if I can't even tolerate a PCA for 4 hours a day. Sorry. And I can train him to an extent not to do the things I don't want him to do, but he's a cat. The only reason he's still here with all the chaos that he creates is that he is cute and fluffy. Humans are not cute and fluffy. Well, some are, but, not enough to save them from my wrath. All of my friends have at some point heard the voice. One of my friends named Danny heard me use the voice on my PCA, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I thought the only people that heard that voice were me and the cat." I'm like, no. I might not have been able to be a mom for long, but I got the voice down pat. So anyway, it hit me today because I told the last guy that was interested in me that I didn't want to live together. Which, see, that's the thing. That's the thing is, the kind of man who would be okay with that arrangement usually isn't the kind of guy that I want to be around. Because you know why they would be okay with the arrangement. Whoa, she'll never know how many people I have at my house. So, the good guys, they're good guys. They want to spend a lot of time with their significant other. And if it's not a good match, I'll be like I was with my ex, where I just wanted him to get stoned. Because then he would leave me alone. Sorry. And I don't want to be trapped in that kind of... See, even he doesn't live with me, but I know who that is. I know who that is. And he doesn't live with me, and he's still interrupting something I'm trying to do. I didn't warn him ahead of time I was filming. I probably should have. But it hit me. I'm sitting here doing my little jigsaw puzzles. I have a routine, every morning I get up, I make sure the cat has food and water. He has his own room, so the food and water is out of sight, out of mind. And I want to check every morning so that he doesn't go hungry or thirsty. Because I will forget. So feed and water the cat, water the plants, start the boiled eggs and coffee. That's what I have for breakfast every morning, unless I've made pancakes. And then I get on the computer. I do solitaire, daily challenges, all 5 if I can. Then I do mahjong, daily challenges, all 3 if I can. And then I do the jigsaw daily challenges, all 3, always, ever. I haven't ever failed one. So I have my little routine. And if anything interrupts that routine, I forget to do things. And I get frustrated when something interrupts my routine and I forgot to do something, because sometimes it's really, really important. Like taking my morning medication, which I have to do with breakfast. But if something interrupts it, I forget, and then I get frustrated. So, that was sign language, sorry. And I tried talking to my best friend about it, but he was too busy playing Overwatch to really listen. And now he's going to see a movie that I really want to see, but I'm broke. Because end of the month blues when you're disabled. So, and I looked at Ms. and I said, you are going to be the only male that shares my living space as long as you live. Can't say as long as I live, because he's a cat. And I got him as a kitten. coughing, I'm sorry. I got him as a kitten, but he's not going to live 50, 60 years. I potentially could live 50 or 60 years. It's highly unlikely that I'm going to die in a decade, which is his expected lifespan. He's about 5 or 6 years old. 5, almost 6. He'll be 6 in September? So he's 5.5. Cats, I think the top end, the best you can hope for is 15, I think. Although I've heard of cats living to be 20, which is insane. So I looked at him and I said, you know, for the rest of your life, there's probably not going to be another human being living with us. And it was both reassuring and depressing at the same time. And I can't really separate the two. So my sister dated an autistic guy for a while, so I don't know, maybe I should show her this video and see if it helps her understand him any better. By the way, yes, I did say I was pulling blackheads off of my cat. He is allergic to plastic, so when he rubs up against Rubbermaid totes and things, because I just moved and they're everywhere, he will break out all on his chin where he rubbed him. And I should take a cloth and like soap it up and clean him up like that, but I'm never that patient. I just like pull them out of his fur. And then he gets little bald spots and I feel bad. I'm sorry, animal lovers. I'm sorry. I know. You know cats and water. So, and if you saw the sticky spot between his shoulder blades anytime he passed by, it's because he just had flea drops, which he hated. So yeah, random cat fact and lots of autism, depression. And it's almost at 18 minutes. I'm sorry. I know some people will watch this all the way through and those people are all related to me or friends. But if you know someone who is on the spectrum, high, low, middle, whatever, and you're trying to understand where they're coming from, that's what it is I like things a certain way. And when people see, I supervise people when they're in my home to make sure they don't put things where they're not supposed to go. And then I'm hovering and it's stressful for everyone. And so typically I prefer to go to their place so that they don't mess up my place. But I don't like going to new places. So if that person moves around a lot, it's always a new place and I don't feel safe or comfortable. And yeah. But then when I go over to their place, like I said, I get people fatigue. I don't know how to explain that. People fatigue. Like I can handle people in small doses. There are very few people that I can be with for more than 2 hours. And I game with them every week. Those are the only people I can tolerate being around for more than 2 hours. Aside from Danny, but I wouldn't know because I've never been around him for any length of time. Sorry, he's one of the people that's going to watch. Sorry. But I'm not real good with people. I'm sorry. I'm going to end because we're coming up on 20 minutes. I haven't left my house much. I haven't left my house at all on my own ever since my friend told me she almost had a bad experience. And I keep seeing signs around Duluth saying something about human trafficking. So I haven't left my house by myself. If I don't have a PCA, I don't go anywhere. Or a friend. So I'm basically a shut-in right now. Not helping the depression. Like, I'm a homebody, but this is a bit much. I'm gonna stop because it's coming up on 20 minutes and that's gonna take forever to upload. I wish I could edit. I'm sorry.